I have been a photographer most of my life. My love for photography began when I was in elementary school and my dad came home from a golf tournament his company had been sponsoring, and he had been there taking pictures, and he asked me if I wanted to go down to the darkroom with him and watch as he developed film from that day and made some prints from the day before. And of course I said yes and went down there and watched, and I watched him as he took this piece of paper and he stuck it in the developer, and then magically, at least to me it seemed, this picture of Evel Knievel, who was the greatest daredevil in the world, magically appeared on that paper in that developing tray. And that's when I knew I wanted to be a photographer. That's when I was hooked. That was the moment I was hooked and knew I wanted to be a photographer. I don't know that I knew I wanted to do it for a living, but I knew I wanted to be a photographer at that point. 7th grade came, and my father gave me an old black and silver Pentax camera that he had. And that's when I started shooting for the yearbook. I started shooting football games, I started shooting the cheerleaders, I started shooting teachers. Anything they wanted me to shoot, I was there to shoot it. And then I would rush home after the day at school taking pictures, and my father and I would develop the film and make the contact sheets, and that is when my passion for photography really grew, and that's when I started to think I could do this for a living. This is what I would like to do for the rest of my life. And so by 16 I started to shoot weddings. I was shooting weddings and eventually local rock bands. So I did that from the time I was 16 all the way through college. And when I graduated from college, I tried getting a real job with a cable advertising company, and I was still shooting at night and on the weekends. And by that point, I had added models to the mix of the things I was shooting. And my wife, who at the time was my girlfriend, suggested I contact her old modeling agency and see if they needed anybody to take pictures for them. So I started doing that, and eventually it turned into a full-time job with them, actually running the agency and shooting pictures. But I knew after a while that being a model agent was not what I wanted to do, and that's not where my passion lied. My passion was in photography. So I decided to leave the agency and pursue photography full-time. Since that first scary day when I decided to go on my own as a photographer, I've had some amazing opportunities. I've shot for national magazines, designers, and retail companies. I've been to some beautiful and interesting places all across the United States and in multiple foreign countries. I can't imagine being anything other than a photographer. Photography is not a job for me, it's what I love to do, it's my passion. And I hope that I can continue taking pictures until my very last breath.